This is Chris Orser Landscaping coming to you from a homeowner's property, and great example of a more of a natural setting with a wooded setting here. And here in southeastern Pennsylvania in Bucks County, we do have an issue with deer browsing on a lot of different plants here. This house in particular, these plants were put in, and the majority of plants have been deer browsed. And at Chris Orser Landscaping, we take the proper time and care to put in plants that are deer resistant and that won't give you this type of landscape. So here's just a great example of the deer browsing on a plant. You can see there that it almost looks like a really bad cut on the shrub. This happens to be a rhododendron, which deer do like. And you can kind of see that it just looks brownish on the end, and it's just a really kind of rough, it almost looks like a rough cut that somebody came in with like a really sharp saw and tried to saw off the ends of the stem. So that's how you can tell if deer have been browsing on it. The other issue here is because of these large trees, a lot of times what happens is that it soaks up a lot of the nutrients, and it affects the pH levels and such in beds like this. So the other thing that Chris Orser Landscaping does is come in before we plant any plants. We do take a soil sample to test the pH levels, nutrient levels, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, other micronutrients and macronutrients that ensures you whatever plants that we do put in is going to thrive and look healthy and grow the way they're supposed to grow, and not to give you conditions like we have here. This is another example of a deer browse plant that essentially just killed the plant. So two conditions going on here: number one, the soil; number two, the deer, that have really affected this landscape. And at this point in the season, the landscape should be looking not as sparse as it is now. I mean, the way this was set up is to give it a naturalistic setting, to go around with the context. You can see the trees in the background. But at this point, the bed just looks really bare, and there's just a lot of dead plants in here due to deer browsing and probably some improper or deficiencies in the soil. So, and Chris Orser Landscaping also does offer a deer repellent service, which we come out and spray your existing plants in the landscape, which repels the deer, and over time they do learn to stay away from these particular plants that deer do like to